Brings us the Toyota tip-off. Toyota, let's go places. Mike Reed, our lead official, tosses it up, and Gadaretse wins the tip for Utah State. So the Aggies have it first in those Navy uniforms with the white numbers. The Bulldogs defending in their zone in white unis, red numbers outlined in Navy. Aggies go inside the zone to Falslev, then back out on the perimeter. Here's a cross-court pass. Martinez dribbling toward the baseline, spinning, tried to feed the paint for Akano. Boy, Gadaretzi's in the paint for about 8 seconds. No 3-second call, and his back-to-the-basket layup is good for 2. 2-0 Utah State.
They just caught off guard on that one, caught it and said, look, I'm under the basket, and just reverse it.
And now the Aggies in their zone defense as the Bulldogs look to attack. They found some pockets in that zone in the first matchup in Logan. 2-0 Utah State in the opening minute. Bulldog fans on their feet. Crawford trapped, throws it away. Falslev with the steal out of that zone. Falslev the other way to Albury in the corner. Didn't want the 3. Dogs trap him, deflect that pass. Loose ball, and Weaver comes up with it. Then gets crunched from behind by Albury. No foul call, and a steal for the Aggies. Martinez partially blocked by Janeste. The putback dunk for Gadaretse won't count, but it looks like they've called a foul on Pierre Janeste Jr. Alexis was talking about Pierre playing without the splint for the first time, and it looked like a pretty good contest on that shot, Coach.
Well, let's talk about all the bodies that were on the ground. And, I mean, you look at Martinez, he looked like he's favoring that leg a little bit, and looked like to me Price also was on the ground. Maybe he got a little blood on his mouth, and they may have to pull him out. Yeah, he's looking at his lip.
Well, Rob Kuhneman blew the whistle, called the foul on Pierre Janeste on that blocked shot. There were some big-time collisions prior to that, but I don't know if any of the officials had a good angle to see that contact. He saw contact near the rim, and Martinez, the best foul shooter on the Aggie team, hits the first. You're right, Coach. Ian is still limping a little bit out there.
And it looks like Price is still bleeding.
So he's had a few bloody lips this year.
Oh, he plays hard. Does the winning things for you.
3-0 Utah State. Second free throw for Martinez. Around the rim and in. 4-0 in favor of the visitors. Now the Aggies with a little full court pressure. Weaver trapped, gets rid of it to Price. Now the Bulldogs go to work in the half court. Cross-court pass to Weaver left side. Driving on Falslev. He's cut off. Reverses to Collins near midcourt. Dogs trying to find a hole in the zone. How about a backdoor lob to Price, who catches, comes down, powers back up, and draws the foul on Gadaretse. He probably wants that back, Coach, because it looked like he had a pretty good chance to put that one in.
Yeah, but you want to get that big guy out of there, too. Get him in foul trouble. Nice catch by Price, nice pass. Just knocked the free throw down. This is going to be one of those games where we may not see any man-to-man, all traps and zones, and we used to call them, just different-looking defenses. I won't call them junk defenses because they're very effective.
If you did call him, well, I'll save that one for later.
It's like, a pitcher that throws a lot of junk in baseball, right? It's just going to try to mix you up.
Price made the first free throw. Boy, has he improved at the foul line.
Yeah, tremendous.
Second foul shot, no good. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Them together on that
with the rebound.
Yeah, we put it both on him.
Well, did you hear Vance Wahlberg in the pregame show say that Martinez has 1 for his last 15 from 3, and then thinking because he said it, that may trigger a few threes today. Falslev gets open inside the zone and gets a layup off the bounce pass feed from the wing. 6-1 Utah State early. It's clear the Aggies have scouted this Bulldog zone.
Well, they practice against the zone every day, so they're going to do well against zone defenses.
Dogs don't have a basket yet. Their lone point coming at the line. 6-1 Aggies, 2 minutes in. Collins has to get rid of it to Weaver. 10 to shoot. It comes back into the hands of Collins between the rings against Martinez. 7 to shoot 6. Now he penetrates. Jump stop left of the lane. Back up top. Weaver needs the 3 to beat the buzzer. Got it. Jalen Weaver from the top of the arc. The triple is good. And it's a 6-4 Aggie lead.
Well, that's a nice pass out by Collins under control. Hits him in the shooting pocket. And Weaver's money from there.
Aggies go back to work against the zone. Martinez trying to split a double team, turns it over to Weaver. No foul call and a chance for the Bulldogs to tie or take the lead. Weaver may have gotten away with a carry. Price trying to post up down low against Akano, and finally they're going to call the foul. It's a big body there, Coach, at 6'5", 210. Dexter Akano, the transfer from Oregon State.
And those guys are down there battling. It's funny because when you think of a zone, you don't think it's going to be physical, but when he's in the game, you're going to get hit.
Drake Allen checks in for Utah State. We were talking about Allen, the 6'3", 203-pound grad transfer from Utah Valley. He's a very versatile player, great vision coach, and when he wants to score, he can do that too.
He's one of the best players on their team. He just comes off the bench.
Off the inbound, Zayon Collins gets the reverse layup for two, and we're tied 6 apiece. 17:15 to go first half, and now Allen receiving directions from Aggies head coach Jared Calhoun. Allen on the perimeter against Collins. Holding, sees the ball screen from Gadaretzi. Couple dribbles, they work it around the horn. Martinez, corner three, right side, nothing but net. He's got that right over the top of his head release, coach.
The old ABA type shots, that's what they remind me of, guys from the 70s.
A little bit of almost Purvis short there.
Oh, yeah, got a little snow on it, too.
9-6 Aggies, 16:45. Morse second of the ball game, fouled as he catches in the paint. The Dogs will get it out of bounds. Morse sec, the 7'1" junior, has missed practice the last couple. And how about this? The lob to Crawford, who misses at point-blank range. Price had Crawford sneak free right in front of the hoop, but he couldn't put down the alley-oop inbound, and a missed opportunity for the Dogs. Aggies the other way, leading 9-6. Martinez wants another three. This time comes up short, but gets his own long rebound, dribbles into the paint, fires back out on the perimeter now. Here's Falslev driving from the right wing, rejected at the rim by Elijah Price. Wow. Boy, did he meet him at the summit.
That's what he did and sent it back.
And now he catches on the block, working against Templin, who's into the ball game. Steps through, powers up, no good, a little too strong. Out of bounds off of Sec. It'll be Aggie basketball. A lot of contact underneath, but let's go back to that block, Coach, for our Mountain West Network audience.
Well, you look at that guy penetrates in there, and you got the eraser come through. Price, excellent timing out of help defense. That's what you teach. Boyd Grant and Coach Tark both would be happy with that.
With another look, I'm not sure that didn't hit the glass first, which would have made it a goaltend. Here's Templin underneath, nearly a block by Sec, but he gets it up and in. 11-6 Aggies. We'll have a timeout the next time you hear the whistle.
Well, Templin's an old throwback guy, kind of my kind of guy out there. He likes to be physical.
Templin at 6'8", 230, had a double-double against the Dogs in Logan. Collins left open for three. Brick off the back iron, and Allen up high over the top of Price to get that rebound. Carries about twice on his way the other way and fires to an open shooter. Tucker Anderson drills the corner three. All of a sudden, the Aggies on an 8-0 run lead it 14-6 here in Fresno.
Well, off the miss, Allen in the game with that athleticism, he's going to push it.
Boy, Crawford missed right at the rim, and all of a sudden the Dogs are down 8.
Yeah, he's got to throw that down, or at least try to.
Here's Sec in the high post. Hands back off to Collins, top of the arc. Collins staring down that zone, backs it out near midcourt. 7 to shoot 6. Collins around a Price ball screen. 5 to shoot 4. Nice crossover. Puts it up in traffic, partially blocked by Martinez, who got a lot of arm too. No foul call. Collins barking out to Rob Kuhneman, the official, about that. As Allen penetrates, throws a pass to the corner. Anderson. The three went, but it won't count because he stepped out of bounds before he released it. Hit the glass first.
Well, that's the issue, right? It's real time. You got to see it.
14-6, Utah State on top. 14:45 to go, first half. Bulldogs in white against the Aggies in blue. Crawford open on the back door. They threw it too late, and Amunique threw it away. Threw it off the basket support. Crawford on the back line was open behind that zone, and nobody saw him till it was too late. A turnover. Utah State has it back. And we apologize for whatever interference is coming in there. Not sure what microphone that's originating from, but we'll get that ironed out as well. 14-6, Utah State. The Aggies go back to work against the Bulldog zone. Amunique anticipating the pass. Comes up with a steal on the bounce pass. The outlet to Weaver. Bulldogs down by 8. Aggies on an 8-0 run over the last 3 minutes. They find Amunique inside the zone. The freshman tries to feed the post to Sec. Has it knocked away, but the bouncing ball ends up in Weaver's hands, and another chance for the Dogs. Collins wants a three from the right wing. Off the front iron, no, and Drake Allen, the Utah State rebound. Boy, Allen gets off the ground pretty effortlessly, doesn't he?
He is an athlete.
Martinez, another corner three. There it is, this time from the left baseline corner. Ian Martinez. Well, Coach Wahlberg said he's 1 for his last 15 from 3. Now he's 2 for 3 from downtown.
He's got the feeling in Fresno.
17-6 Aggies. It's an 11-0 run. Who's going to score for the Bulldogs? Amunique, the freshman, thinking it may be him, but cut off by Anderson. Has to find Sec in the post. Sec, double team, gets it back out to Amunique, right baseline. He dribbles into a double team, tries to shoot through him, and what's the call, a jump ball or a foul? Mike Reed going to call a foul on Utah State and out against San Jose State.
Well, he can shoot with a hand in his face, and that's going to be required in a game like tonight.
19-9 Aggies as we approach the 12-minute mark. Drake Allen penetrating, floats one up over Geneste and banks it in from left to the lane. That's not an easy shot to make.
And he's high in the sky, and Geneste did what was right. He made it difficult for him, but he still knocked it down.
A 12-point Aggie lead, 21-9 as we near the 12-minute mark. Trimble up top, nearly a turnover, but he came to meet the pass. Trying to work the pick and roll, throws the lob for Geneste, who comes up short, but gets his own rebound. Back up with a righty hook over Templin, and it's in. Nice to have those fingers again, Coach.
Those extra 3 fingers make a difference. They give you an extra 2.
Pierre Geneste Jr. with his first deuce, 21-11 Aggies, and now a steal for Weaver. Weaver has Trimble trailing. Instead, his Euro step, he gets blocked by Allen, and a foul called
against Allen. Allen 2.
Drake Allen going to pick up his first personal.
Okay. He's made some crucial passing mistakes. I think they're going to pull him and talk to him. He's had some turnovers. The Dogs doing a great job. You look at our guy, Weaver, jumping the passing lane and attacking the basket. The Dogs are going to need a lot of that tonight.
Weaver will be at the free throw line when we come back to the St. Mart Center. 11:37 to go in the first half. Utah State 21, Fresno State 11. It's Fresno State basketball from Learfield. Fresno State down by 10 on its home floor. 11:37 to go in the first half. It's 21-11 in favor of the visiting Aggies of Utah State, who have made 8 of their first 11 shots. That's 73%. They're also out-rebounding Fresno State 10-2. Coach Q, you mentioned they're boxing out. That's a reflection of that. I want to remind our listeners and viewers, anytime you buy Fresno State merchandise, check the tags for the officially licensed product hologram. That'll ensure a portion of your purchase supports Fresno State students like Jalen Weaver, who just knocked down the first free throw. One more coming for the senior, who leads the way with 4 points so far. Got them both. And will we see the press? Yeah, Fresno State putting on the press here, Coach, down by 8.
Well, the Ags have shown they'll throw it away, so stick with what you do well.
And you correctly prognosticated that Drake Allen would take a rest on the bench. They've got Albury back in, along with Akano and Falslev on the perimeter. Into the game underneath is Isaac Johnson, the 7-foot junior transfer from Oregon. Falslev from 8 feet out, no good. Price, a Bulldog rebound. Price, one of the top rebounders in the league, averages 8 boards a game. Dogs down by 8, 11-10 to go first half. Weaver stops the bounce, needs somebody, finds Trimble. Thought about a deep 3, instead back to Weaver, left wing against Falslev, goes high post for Price. Price working against Johnson, fakes right, dribbles left, attacking the bucket, challenges the big man, has his shot blocked, a scramble for it. We're going to get a foul against Price as Akano fell down. Rob Kuhneman calls Elijah Price for his first personal. Second team foul on the Dogs. The Aggies have been whistled for 5 already as Collins returns in place of Weaver.
Well, great hustle play by Price. You hate to get a foul like that. But you're hustling out there. That's going to happen. The Dogs have got to continue to talk within this half-court defense.
21-13 Aggies, 10:45 to go first half. Akano, left baseline, cut off by a couple Bulldogs, wraps it back around to the left wing Johnson, skip pass to the right baseline corner for Falslev, who got it up quickly. Pat Price missed it, but it's tipped back in by Albury. Bulldog fans wanted a goaltend. They thought it was still in the cylinder, and it might have been.
I thought it was in orbit. I mean, that guy was in the sky.
Maybe we'll get another look at it later. Yeah. 23-13 Aggies, 10:20 to go first half. Trimble on the right wing, dribbles toward the middle, around a ball screen from Price. Had an opening for 3, didn't take it. He's still working with the bounce on the perimeter. Hands off to Collins. Shot clock at 6, 5. Collins, crossover, penetrates, finds a cutting Crawford for a 2-hand dunk. Crawford cut right baseline, and Collins hit him right in stride.
He didn't finger roll that one. He threw it down there.
He finger slammed that
That's
one.
what he did on that one.
In fact, that slam dunk is brought to you by Pizza Factory. Proud to be your slam dunk hometown pizza. We toss them their awesome Pizza Factory. 9:40 to go first half, an 8-point lead. Johnson catches in too deep and an easy deuce over Crawford. The 7-footer Isaac Johnson makes it 25-15 in favor of the visitors.
Yeah, they flashed that guy up there. That's going to be difficult. They got to get a body on him early.
Bulldogs back to work against the Aggie zone. Little pick and roll for Collins and Price. Finds Trimble right wing. Couldn't get the 3 off, so he dribbles toward the baseline. Lobs it for Price, who has it slapped away from behind by Falslev. No foul. It's Albury down the lane the other way. Reverse layup good. 27-15 Utah State. The Aggies with their biggest lead. Here's Collins the other way, feeling his way into the paint, finds Tremble in the corner, right baseline, 3-ball, in and out. Price an offensive board, foul going back up, and he'll head to the line.
I mean, Price has got 3 guys trying to block him out, and he still finds a way to get in there. I mean, you got to really admire a guy that does that.
And, Coach, you can also see how comfortable in that zone Utah State is, how quickly they react and close out on the perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, they've mastered it. I had a good talk with E. Hout, the associate head coach here. You know, he played on that great team at Kent State that went to the Elite Eight. You know, the head coach said, hey, I want to run this type of zone. Nick Cronin run it, the old coach from Holy Names. He was the guy that really originated it. And Coach Hout talked about they've made it really good for the players to understand it. They've made adjustments, and you can see how it's causing havoc in the conference.
Price made the first, got them both. 27-17 Aggies, 9-minute mark. You mentioned that Kent State Golden Flashes team. The star of that team just went in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
So you can see his teammate's a good coach as well, right?
Antonio Gates.
Gates is a big time.
And he spent some time right here in the Valley, too. Falslev in the paint, little shot put. Sek couldn't react from the back of that zone in time, and Mason Falslev adds a deuce for Utah State. He's got 4. Martinez leading the way with 8. And he's back in now. Aggies by a dozen, 8.5 to play first half. Collins penetrating, swings to Price right wing. He fakes right, dribbles left, got slapped. No foul call as off the bench, Barnes helped get that steal. He tries to feed underneath. Now they're working around the perimeter. Barnes to Johnson left wing. Boy, they move it quickly and crisply.
Well, the Dogs are making them stand, so that's a good time. It's okay to move the ball around as long as you don't score.
Martinez faking right, dribbling left, down the lane, an extra step, throws up a wild runner, no, and Collins cleans the glass. The outlet to Weaver. Weaver attacking against Johnson, drew the foul. His shot wouldn't go, but he'll head to the line for 2. Weaver saw the contact and just forced it up from his hip. Randy Richardson blowing the whistle, calls it on Isaac Johnson. That'll be his second personal, 7th team foul already on the Aggies. Dogs only have 2. Go ahead.
Well, you just like the fact that Weaver will put his body in there and attack you physically on the break.
And just to wrap up that discussion of Kent State, you're talking about Eric Hout, who played on that Golden Flashes team, and Antonio Gates had come here to the San Joaquin Valley, spent a year at the College of Sequoias in Visalia with George Tarkanian, planning to come play for Jerry Tarkanian at Fresno State. And then when Jerry's career came to an end, he ended up at Kent State instead. The rest is history. He's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. It's a Charger tight end.
And the guy who lost out was our good friend Pat Hill saying, how can you come here and catch the ball for me?
Yeah, amen. Amen. 8 minutes to go. Jalen Weaver made both free throws. Dogs are down 10, 29-19. Weaver leading the way with 7. Jordy Barnes, the freshman guard, handling on the perimeter for Utah State. Fires it to Martinez on the right wing. Now they get Falslev left baseline. Up top for Barnes. He wants an NBA range 3. That's a brick. Badly missed. A little too strong off the backboard. Weaver the rebound. Far ahead for Sek, who tried to pass out of a double team and threw it away. He may have been fouled. Barnes racing the other way. Bounce pass feed for Falslev. What a block from behind by Weaver, who was sitting on his backside and must have been out of bounds. He was right in front of the official Randy Richardson, the freshman. 31-21 Aggies, nearly another turnover, but Falslev comes up with it, and the layup for Akano is in. 33-21 Utah State.
Well, they have good interior passing. They're getting these looks.
Ooh, Price flashed open, and Collins couldn't see him. Now they hit Price in the high post. Back out to Weaver. He wants a 3 left of center, around the rim and out, and the Aggies fight each other for the rebound. Templin comes up with it, and then stares down his teammate Falslev, says, why are you trying to take my rebound away?
Yeah.
Aggies shooting 64% in this first half, 14 of 22. Dogs extending that perimeter D. Templin gets up in the air, throws it away. Weaver another steal. Weaver the other way. And he turns it over as he got up in the air and tried to pass to Collins, but instead bounced it off Falslev's hip. Martinez left open in the corner for 3. Around the rim and out. Crashing the glass, Akano nearly got it, and Amunique took the rebound for granted, had it swiped by Martinez. Aggies work it in Templin, spinning on the 7-footer, steps under, finds a cutting Falslev, ball loose on the ground. Falslev gets it back out on the perimeter. Martinez right baseline, throws up a wild one. It won't go, but a foul called, and Martinez will head to the line with 5:41 left in the half.
Dogs just a step off on that whole series there, right? Got to give the Aggies credit the way they move into the ball, extra effort to get that extra shot. The Dogs have got to limit them to one tough shot and try to get in transition.
You know, Coach, when the Bulldogs played so well at Utah State, Alex Crawford had a career game. He's coming off a really disappointing 3 for 16 last time out, and he's only had 2 shots so far tonight. Is there something that Bulldogs can do to really get him going offensively against this zone?
Well, you just hope he's not taking a biology test this whole week and is tired, right? I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as he's studying a lot.
I can tell you really liked biology.
Well, no, I didn't, but my niece majored in it, so I tried to take her degree and put it on my wall.
It's a good trick if you can get away with it.
I couldn't.
5:41 to go in the first half. Aggies 34, Bulldogs 21. Martinez nails the foul shot. He's 2 for 2 at the line. Make it 4 for 4 at the line. He's up to 10 points to lead the Aggies. Their lead is 14. That's a high water mark for these conference contenders from Logan. Collins the other way against Allen on the right wing. Looking, skips it cross-court Weaver, bounces left baseline Crawford. Crawford double-teamed in the corner. What's he going to do? Trying to find something. Might have to call time. Somehow forces the pass through to Collins. Collins up top, 6 to shoot 5, spinning on Allen, puts it up, contested, off the backboard, no. Martinez, the Aggie rebound, tries to flail and flop to get a foul call. Instead goes all the way to the rim the other way, and that may be a goaltend on Geneste. It is. 2 points for Martinez as Geneste, while the ball was in the cylinder, made contact. So a 16-point Aggie lead with 5:07 to go in the half.
Man, they come at you fast, and when I said going up, I mean he's going up. Hard to get in front of him to take that charge because that's going to be a hard shot to block because you're so deep underneath the bucket. Paul, this must be the most athletic Utah State team I've seen in 8 years I've been working with you.
I'm trying to think back over some of those other ones. Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of size. And now Allen anticipates the pass, ends up with a steal, feeds Falslev back to Allen, layup good. Vance Wahlberg takes time with 4:47 to go. He says, I can't wait another 47 seconds. Because the Aggies have another 8-0 run. He gets it to Weaver, who goes to the rim. Finger roll for 2. Jalen Weaver with a dozen. He's doing it on both sometimes, Coach.
That's all it is.
39-26 Aggies. Utah State will break the press. Now Falslev in the half court on the right wing. Feeds the post, Gadaretse. Little lefty hook over Price. Went in and out. Knocked out of bounds off of Price. Bulldog fans thought it should be Bulldog ball because Gadaretse swung away at the back of Price's hand to knock it out. Randy Richardson coming to talk to Rob Kuhneman, who made that call, and it's going to stay Utah State basketball. And Vance Wahlberg is screaming.
Yeah, you know.
And off the inbound, Falslev the catch and an easy deuce. Price did not see Falslev. Had his back to the inbounder and got burned. 41-26 Utah State, 3:30 to go in the half. Jalen Weaver's had the hot hand. He leads the Dogs at 12. He's got it on the perimeter against Mason Falslev. Gives it up to Collins, right wing. Finds Price in the high post. Price back to the corner left side, Weaver. Penetrates, jump stop, tried to feed Price. The pass deflected. Weaver comes up with it, finds an open Amunique, and the 3 is good. Wide open from the right wing, Brian Amunique up to 8 points, and the Dogs win in a dozen.
Well, you know, he's ready for it, and he's got a lot of confidence. Good job.
It looked like on that last possession, Coach, the Bulldogs switched it up on the Aggies a little bit. Got out of their zone, played a little man. Here's Martinez in the corner for 3. It's around the rim and out, but Gadaretse up high for the board. Dishes underneath, and what a block by Price, but a whistle. It's on Amunique slapping Acano. Price met him at the top and rejected him, but Amunique picks up the foul, and Acano will go to the line for 2.
Well, the rookie's down there just swiping away, and you can't blame him. But Price up top got it clean.
He has just grown by leaps and bounds as a shot blocker in this zone. It's maybe he's playing freer because he's not worried about all the fouls he was picking up in man-to-man.
He was picking up fouls because he was coming over, because guys were getting beat off the dribble and coming over in the help situation, right? So he's got to do that. The zone helps him already be in the right spot so he doesn't have to foul so much.
Utah State 7 of 10 at the line as a team so far. Pardon me, 4 for 4 at the line. The Dogs are 7 for 10. And Martinez, the only guy who shot him until now, and Acano says, I can make him too.
Yeah, and, you know, to your point, the zone just helps the Dogs' backline defense, right? He's going to be that safety valve for you.
Second free throw in and out. Price had position for the rebound. Gadaretse over the top of it, knocked it out of bounds, and they say again it's off Fresno State. And Vance Wahlberg upset again. That's twice. Gadaretse with his length, with Price in rebounding position, he's forced it to go out of bounds off of Price. 20 on the shot clock as the Aggies lob it in to Gadaretse. Back to Allen, left wing. He penetrates. Bounce pass to Acano, left baseline corner, and now back out high for Martinez. Ball moves to Falslev, right wing. Out to Martinez, inside the zone. Acano in the high post. Feeds Falslev, right side three. Got it. Mason Falslev with 11, and the Aggies 4 for 9 from downtown, shooting 62% in the half, and back to a 16-point lead.
Yeah, this is one of those games where both teams are going to have to make shots with hands in their face.
Bulldogs shooting 45% in the half. Weaver from the right wing penetrates, feeds Crawford in the corner. 3 on the way. Too strong off the back iron. Price comes up with a rebound, powers back up and lays it up and in. Allen blocked out Amunique so vigorously he left a little pocket for Price to fly into.
Yeah, and Price can fly into those places.
Elijah Price with 5 points, 3 boards. Bulldogs down by 14, under 2 minutes to go in the half. At halftime, Alexis will be catching up with assistant coach John Welch to get his take on the first half. And then we'll be talking at halftime to a Fresno State golfer. Falslev another 3, no good. Crawford tipping it, but the loose ball comes to Acano.
Oh!
He's blocked by Price again. What a rejection by the freshman, and the Dogs looking for transition. Price running the floor, catches underneath, but goes out of bounds, stumbles over the cameraman, and turns it back over to Utah State.
And you know, I wouldn't say anything to Collins about that because he's trying to reward that big fella for being the eraser down there.
45-31 Utah State with 1:25 to go in the first half. Aggies back to work on offense. They've had a very efficient half, shooting 58%. Martinez wants another 3, and there it is. Coach Wahlberg called it. He said Martinez was 1 for his last 15 from 3. He'll probably make 3 of them tonight, and he already has. 15 points for Martinez, who averages 16 a game. And a 17-point Aggie lead with 1 minute to go in the half, and Allen picks Price's pocket, no foul. Allen racing the other way. Throws the no-look feed to Gadaretse and a dunk. The alley-oop for Utah State puts the Aggies up 19. Vance Wahlberg says that's the biggest deficit we've faced, and I want a timeout. He takes it with 54.5 to go. That timeout brought to you by Table Mountain Casino Resort. Have a lucky day, followed by an epic night. Only at Table Mountain Casino Resort. Coach Q, these Aggies, it's clear to see why they've won 20 games already this year, and they are not messing around in the Valley tonight.
Well, they play physical basketball, more mature players, and they're comfortable playing that zone. They, after a while, you can know how to do things in that zone, and like trap guys, put the ball on the ground. You saw Allen get that steal, and they block out well in that. That's the challenge when you play zone, getting out of area blockouts to get those out of area rebounds.
It also seems like they've felt out where the officiating is tonight, and they're playing right to that level, right? They're not crossing that line. The officials are letting a lot of physicality go on both ends of the floor. Aggies are taking advantage of that.
Well, this ain't ping pong, brother.
It's not pickleball either.
No, you're going to get hit. That's for sure.
Coach Wahlberg sharing with us on the Bulldog Basketball Hour last night that that splint on his right hand is because of a broken bone he suffered playing pickleball. 50-31, Utah State. 40 seconds left in the half. Price catches inside the zone. Powers up, left it short. There was contact there, no whistle, and it looks like he was anticipating more and missed it point-blank range. Big missed opportunity for Fresno State.
Just got to keep working hard.
So the Aggies with the ball, 20 seconds left in the half, about a 6-second difference between shot clock and game clock, and nearly a turnover. Allen comes up with a loose ball. It bounces toward us, and he saves it in the back court, but not an over and back. Dogs raking away at the basketball, get the steal. Weaver attacking the other way, layup no good. Price trying to get the offensive board, out of bounds off Utah State. Bulldogs will inbound with 4 to go. And when I just said the officials were letting a lot go, Coach, that just went to another level. They allowed both teams to just crash into each other in that wild sequence, and I'm glad nobody was hurt.
Yeah, this ain't pickleball, brother. You're going to get hit, like I said.
The Dogs took advantage and just swiped away at Drake Allen and knocked that ball loose.
Hey, Drake saying that I still got my fingers over there.
Might be a little blood, but the fingers are still intact. We're brought to you tonight by Kohl's. When life gets real, start at Kohl's, where they've lowered prices on thousands of items your family needs for whatever life brings. Kohl's, where families come first. 4 seconds for the Dogs to try to get points before halftime. They trail by 19.
They run some good OB stuff. Let's see what happens.
Price, the trigger man, 4.4 on the clock. The
There
lob
it
for
is.
Crawford. He catches, comes down with it, puts it up, missed it. No foul on Gadaretsi, and Falslev comes out of there. He throws it up after the buzzer, and it almost went, but it wouldn't have counted. So the Bulldogs will head to the locker room down by 19 points.
One on this one.
You've been waiting for that one, haven't you?
You know.
Dogs have it on the perimeter, trying to get that first second half bucket. Weaver working on Martinez all the way to the left block, throws up the runner, no, an offensive board. Janeste, his putback went in, but it won't count. You heard the whistle. Randy Richardson calling a foul. That's going to be on Utah State as well. So 2 quick whistles against the Aggies here in the second half, and it'll stay on this end. That's Acano, his second personal. He and Johnson have 2 apiece. 30 seconds into the second half. Bulldogs still have the ball on this west end of the arena. Price with it on the perimeter, guarded by Acano. Fakes left, dribbles right, feeds Collins on the wing.
Nice
the
pass.
3 ball, back iron, no. Price gets a hand on the rebound, and Acano tips it out of bounds. So it's still not going the other way. Fresno State with yet another opportunity.
Well, sometimes you come out of halftime, you're not awake, and Utah State's they're in a coma somewhere.
Inbound comes to Price in the high post. Elijah rips the ball through. A jump stop left of the lane, bounces out to Collins up top, around a ball screen from Janeste with a left-hand bounce. Collins skips it over to Crawford, right in front of the Bulldog bench for 3. There it is! Alex Crawford has been very quiet, but his 3 ball makes it 50-34 Utah State, and the fans can take their seats.
Well, he's in the right spot at the right time. Nice pass. Good sign for the Dogs coming out of halftime.
Now Utah State looking for its first bucket of the second half. Aggies had 15 in the first half from Martinez, 11 from Falslev. Acano back out to Falslev. Shot clock into single digits to Gadaretsi in the high post. Now he wheels around Janeste all the way to the cup, fouled hard, and he'll go to the line. Bulldogs weren't giving him a layup. All 3 of them collapsed on the big man.
Tired of getting fouled by him and getting even.
Looks like maybe a little tighter whistle early here in the second half than we saw in the first half. We're brought to you by Bud Light on game day and every day. Bud Light, easy to drink and easy to enjoy. And by Pepsi, the only drink for basketball watching. Pepsi, proud to be the official soft drink of Fresno State Athletics. That foul was on Price, his second. He's the only Bulldog with multiple. Inbound comes to Martinez. Had an opening for 3. Passes on that. Goes up off 1 foot at the foul line and makes it look awfully easy to exceed his per-game average. Ian Martinez with a bounce-back 17 already.
Well, he made it look real easy, didn't he?
Sure did. Here's Weaver wheeling and dealing, hanging on the right block and kissing it in for 2. Weaver wanted it badly. Gave him the little shimmy and then powered up right at point-blank range. 14 for Jalen Weaver. The other way, Albury attacking. He gets to the cup. Somebody lost sight of Albury, and he got an easy left-hand layup. 54-36 Utah State. Weaver to Collins. Collins outside the arc. Dead ahead between the midcourt stripe and the top of the arc. Gives it up to Price. Now to the corner, Weaver. Little shot fake. He gets trapped and throws it off. Gadaretsi out of bounds. That's kind of dangerous for his teammates right behind him on the Bulldog bench.
And you don't want it to ricochet on you, so a little shoe tie action under there for Price.
Yeah, Elijah Price needed to get those laces knotted up. Bulldogs down by 18. Weaver open for a left wing 3. No good, too strong, but Crawford an offensive board. Back out to Collins. He passes on a 3 to penetrate. Floats up a wild one around the rim and out. Dogs still fighting for the rebound. Collins comes out of there with it. Bounce pass to Crawford, over to Weaver. Deep left side 3, short off the front rim, and this time the Aggies finally get the board with Martinez. So many opportunities there. Albury penetrating, finds Falslev in the lane. The dish to Gadaretsi, and another goaltend on Janeste was going to count whether it went in or not. It went in anyway.
Oh, he kicked a little frustration by Janeste. I'm glad he didn't get a technical call on him.
Little frustration after the whistle. 2 more for Gadaretsi, who's up to 6. The Aggies to a 20-point lead, their biggest edge of the night. 17:20 to go. It's 56-36 Utah State. The Aggies extending that zone. Crawford goes high post for Janeste, who has it swiped from behind by Allen. A breakaway. Janeste trying to catch up, but Allen goes in for a 2-hand jiggly dunk that went through the cylinder, 58-36.
He had to jump early to make sure Geneste didn't come from behind and block it.
A 6-0 run for the Aggies, heating up again. They lead by 22. Collins working the pick and roll with Geneste. Left-hand dribble to the left side of the lane. Back out Weaver. Ooh. Passes on the 3. Got away with the travel. Out to Collins. Collins working on the 6'9", Tucker Anderson, trying to get free. Shot clock into single digits. He wheels all the way down to the left block, then throws a lob for 2 Bulldogs. Geneste comes up with it, and he shows a little touch from 10 feet out. He's glad to have those digits back on his right hand.
He's got the restrictions off.
I don't think we've seen that shot from him.
I don't think he's seen that shot from him. But it went in, so we make it sound good.
4 from Geneste, a 20-point Aggie lead. Templin wants a 3 left of center. A little too strong, and Weaver way up there for the rebound. He'll bring it the other way. 16 minutes to play. Bulldogs down by 20 on their home floor. Weaver with a nice crossover, attacking the left side of the lane. No, Geneste's tip wouldn't go, and Templin this time with the Aggie rebound. An outlet to Allen. They work it quickly in transition, find Martinez for 3, short off the front rim, and some pushing and shoving inside. Templin went down, and they're going to get Geneste, I believe, for that. Moore had a double-double in Logan against the Dogs, up to 4 points, a 22-point Aggie lead. Collins going to work in the half court. Brian Amunique, the freshman, is back in. He scored 8 in the first half, hasn't missed a shot yet. He feeds Price in the high post against the zone. Price puts it on the floor. The help defense knocks it away. Still trying to find it, and Templin comes out of there with it for Utah State. Bulldogs have turned it over a dozen times tonight. Aggies have turned those into 17 Utah State points. 60-38. Falslev spinning on Weaver. Bulls his way to the block, comes up short on the one-handed shot. It's out of bounds off Fresno State. Aggies will keep it with 20 to shoot. Anything particular you're watching for the rest of the way here, Coach?
It's been a physical game in the first half and the start of this half. You got to watch the Dogs fatigue. They don't have much of a bench, so they've got to really rest these guys, keep them fresh. Dogs in a stretch of 4 games in 9 days as Martinez with the fadeaway 20-footer gets the roll. Man, is he having a night. 19 for Ian Martinez, 6 of 10 from the floor, and that was the highest degree of difficulty. Yeah, you did everything right. Put pressure on him, and he just beat you. Aggies by 24 and nearly another turnover. Collins comes up with a loose ball, and his teardrop falls as he went up off 1 foot in the lane. Zayon Collins has had a rough shooting night. Just 2 for 8 after that bucket. 62-40 Utah State. Going against these big physical guards, he's got a lot to do. Allen is a very big physical guard. He had Templin flash open near the hoop, couldn't find him. Instead, Falslev on the left wing. Falslev driving hard. A jump stop got Weaver up in the air, took an extra step, and laid it up and in. I'm not sure he didn't switch pivot feet there, Coach, but he got a deuce. Yeah, I think people were distracted by Weaver's jump. Didn't see what happened down low. 64-40, and Mason Falslev up to 13 points for Utah State. Crawford with it on the right wing. The reversal to Collins. Boy, the Aggies get their hands on a lot of perimeter passes. Until they practice being active. Crawford catching left baseline corner, and his 3 goes in. Alex Crawford warming up. He's 2 for 3 from downtown, up to 8 points. 64-43 Utah State. Oh, you got to look at, Collins playing full court pressure. Uh-oh. Allen right down the lane. Crawford came to contest, and Allen missed the reverse layup. It's out of bounds to Fresno State with 13:29 to go in the half. Acano coming back in for Utah State as Martinez heads to the bench. Those guys are tired. They're sucking air out there. Both teams playing hard. And Collins, they took Collins out, so they're giving him a blow. Fresno State has Jasir Trimble, the 5'10 junior, back in to spell Collins. Utah State shooting 61% for the game. The Bulldogs 43%. Weaver left wing against Allen. The reversal to Trimble as Falslev extends. They find Amunique left wing now. Brian with a crossover. Back to Weaver in the corner. He finds Crawford. Back out to Weaver left wing. Now he penetrates. Jalen dishing underneath for Price. Got tied up by Acano. Got it back. Got the bucket and a foul. Price patient enough to wait till he had a firm grasp on that basketball, then powered up, and he's got a shot at a three-point play. And, the official was patient enough to not call a jump on that to give him a chance, so it's a good break for the Dogs. They do a great job of trying to get under there and bother you down low, the Ags do, and then Allen makes the foul there. You can see the arm.
Allen called for his second personal, third team foul this half on the Aggies. We're brought to you tonight by Bulldog Bread, the official NIL collective of Fresno State Athletics. To support student athletes, visit Bulldog Bread, BREAD.com. Elijah Price gets the roll on the free throw. He's got 8 points. Bulldogs within 18, just under 13 minutes to go. Trying to mount an epic comeback here in front of the home crowd against one of the top teams in the Mountain West. Isaac Johnson, the 7-footer, back in, trying to post up. Instead, it's a Cano in the corner for three. No, Weaver, the long rebound for Fresno State. He's got 3 boards, 3 assists, 4 steals, and 14 points to Jalen Weaver. Nearly had a turnover, but the ball deflected by Allen out of bounds.
Well, you look at the Dogs right now, they're trying to mount a little energy here. I think they got to dribble in the paint and keep shooting those teardrops over this team. But Aminique's in, so, you know, never know what he can do. He can make the tough ones.
Maybe get to the foul line a little bit?
Yeah, that helps. When you get in the paint, that can generally help your percentages.
Price has it on the right wing, 10 to shoot. He picks up the bounce, cross court for Trimble. Trimble working around the ball screen. Keeps the basketball. Bounce pass feed to the corner. Ammunique. He penetrates. Goes up off 1 foot in the lane. No good. Price's tip wouldn't fall. It's the first time Brian has missed tonight. And the Aggies have it back. Just over 12 minutes to go. Acano clearing Ammunique off with the offhand. Now finds a cutting Allen, who gets to the rim and finger rolls it in. He didn't even dribble. Caught it beyond the foul line. Took 2 steps and almost dunked it.
Well, I'm about to say, we know that he can dunk that. And the Dogs are happy he didn't throw it down.
20-point Aggie lead. We'll have a timeout the next time you hear the whistle. Ammunique was waving his arms around in the right baseline corner. The team didn't see him. They find Crawford in the left baseline corner against Anderson, trying to feed the post for Price, but Isaac Johnson knocked it away out of bounds. And they want to look at the monitor during the timeout, says Mike Reed, the veteran official, who told me that he's going to officiate at Pauley Pavilion tomorrow night for the UCLA game. We'll be right back. 11:44 to go. 66-46 Aggies. Fresno State basketball from Learfield. Well, barring a big turnaround, Utah State's going to celebrate its 21st win of the year, but Alexis Bruno found some Bulldog fans who still have something to celebrate themselves. Alexis?
Yeah, there is not only basketball here today, there is also love. Jim and Kathy Kalashian are celebrating their 49th anniversary. Now, why did you guys choose to come to a basketball game to celebrate your guys' anniversary?
You know, we have season tickets for the football games, and we come to occasional basketball games, but we haven't had a chance to bring our kids and our grandkids to one. And tonight just worked out where everybody could make it. And then we realized, wait, this is coming on the night of our 49th wedding anniversary. We thought, well, it's more important that we bring the kids to the game, and we just had a great time. We had a nice dinner earlier in the week, but this is great. They're sitting right up there behind us, enjoying the game with us. So what could be better than enjoying our 49th wedding anniversary celebration and having your kids and grandkids with you as well. So it's been great.
Yes, all the family is behind us, and he is an alumni, Bulldog born, Bulldog bred.
Well, happy anniversary, Jim and Kathy. Jasir Trimble with a nice step-through move. Got the floater to go, 66-48. Now Trimble with a steal. Took it away from Allen. He attacks the bucket and high off the glass to beat Allen, who rose up to try to deny him. Where'd Jasir Trimble just come from, Coach?
Well, he came from the huddle and said, hey, Coach, I want to stay in the game. I'm going to give you a reason to keep me in here.
Bulldogs on a 4-0 run since we put Jim and Kathy Kalashian on the camera on the Mountain West Network, but Isaac Johnson catches underneath and wraps his hand around the rim to dunk it home for 2. 68-50 Utah State, 10:50 to go in regulation. Trimble feeling it. NBA range around the rim and out on that deep 3, but Crawford kept it alive, and Price is fouled going back up. Looked like Tucker Anderson said, hey, that was the bottom of the backboard that fouled him, not me, but Price will go to the line for 2.
Well, great hustle by Price, but I like this shot by Jasir. He can make those. You know, when a game gets like this and it has these ups and downs for the Dogs, that's where a guy like Price doing what you just saw, getting a rebound, getting to the free throw line, getting fouled, allows you to put your press in and maybe get you some momentum in the transition game.
Price up to 9 points in the ball game. Elijah already has 6 double-doubles this year. That's tied a freshman record at Fresno State. Paul George, the only other Bulldog to have 6 double-doubles as a Fresno State freshman. Price up to 10 points. He's at 4 in the rebound tally, but he's also been doing some rim protection for the Dogs tonight, credited with 2 blocks and 2 steals. The other way, the Aggies looking to answer. Their lead has shrunk to 16. Bulldog fans wanted to travel on Isaac Johnson, but the whistle didn't blow. Jordy Barnes working against Tremble near midcourt. Bounce pass feed to Martinez, who's back in. Martinez has Sek switch onto him, so a behind-the-back pass to Isaac Johnson, who goes cross-court for Anderson. He penetrates, feeds Falslev for a corner 3, right side. No good off the back iron. Price with a good closeout. Falslev comes up with it again, and look at Price's hustle. Knocking it away from Isaac Johnson underneath. There would have been a 3 or a 2 if not for Price.
Well, if you didn't know the score, you look at Price, you go, my goodness, they must be winning because he's the way he plays.
All effort all the time. Inbound comes to Johnson, who goes to the rim and dunks with 2 hands. Morsek got lost on that inbound play. And the Aggies are the first to 70 tonight. They lead at 70-52.
Yeah, he got real lost on that play. You got to keep talking out there.
Tremble right of the lane, finds Price. He attacks right baseline, jumps into the chest of Isaac Johnson, and he'll head to the line for 2. Really excel in those baseline out-of-bounds plays. End up stealing an easy 6 to 10 points a game that way, don't they?
And when I was coaching, that was what you wanted to have to win.
Meanwhile, Price continues to shine at the foul line. 7 of 8 in the game after drilling that one. He's got 1 more coming. 70-53 Aggies. Still have 9:57 to go. A lot of game left.
A lot of game left. And like I said, him getting fouled going to the free throw line allows you to set up your pressure.
Second free throw, no good. Johnson the rebound for Utah State. Bulldogs have made 5 of their last 7 shots. They're shooting 53% for the second half. Alberry fending off Tremble up high. Here comes the ball screen from Anderson. Price showing on the screen to create the double. Now Anderson catches left wing, launching the 3, short off the front iron, but an offensive board, and Martinez gets 2 more. Sek blocked out his man, but Weaver didn't check Martinez, and Ian's got 21 in Fresno tonight.
He's feeling good.
We talked to him at Mountain West Media Days this year. Talked about wanting to go back to his native Costa Rica and train the next generation of ball players from his homeland. Here's Tremble penetrating on the baseline, finds an open Amunique for 3, around the rim and out. Sek fighting for the offensive board, got fouled by Utah State. And the Bulldogs will have it out of bounds. 9:10 on the second half clock, and Alex Crawford going to return.
Sek's a little frustrated out there, and we both offered to help Martinez to run his camps over there for a week or so just to get a little vacation time.
I'd love to see you on a zip line in Costa Rica, Coach.
That'd be the last time you would probably see me.
That's not why I said that. Just clarifying.
All right. Zip on out of the world real quick.
Ian Martinez up to 21. Nowhere near his career high 32 he had against the Montana Grizzlies earlier this year. Shot clock in single digits. Price attacking against Templin. Draws another foul. Boy, Elijah Price, adept at earning free throws. The foul on Templin will be his first personal, 7th team foul. And Price, who's already attempted 9 foul shots, gets 2 more.
And again, it sets up, you're pressed if you can get it. And it gives you time to rest guys, right? Guys are getting a break on the floor.
Gets the roll on the first free throw. A dozen for Price, second only to 14 that Jalen Weaver's put up tonight. We're brought to you tonight by Pizza Factory. Nothing's better than watching your hometown team and eating your hometown pizza. That's why Pizza Factory is a proud partner of the Bulldogs. So visit any of their over 100 locations, including Fresno, Clovis, and Madera. 2 more foul shots for Elijah Price. He's 9 of 11 at the line, 13 points. The Dogs apply pressure here, down by 17 with 8:56 remaining. And there's the turnover. The lob overshot Albury. So the Bulldogs looking to capitalize. Weaver thought about a step-back 3. Instead, up top to Tremble. Bounce pass feed to Price, left of the lane. He got away with the travel. Up top, Tremble, and his 3 is blocked. Martinez calls for the foul. He cannot believe it. Rob Kuhneman says, yeah, Tremble's going to shoot 3 free throws because Martinez just committed his second foul.
Well, when you look at it, just kind of lackadaisical closeout, and you look at Tremble, smart, gets it up, sees he can't stop, and gets those free throws.
Jared Calhoun hasn't gotten too animated so far tonight. His lead has been pretty comfortable, but if he looks at the box score, Coach, he'll see that his Aggies have been called for 15 fouls tonight, and Fresno State has only been whistled for 6.
That'll get you upset.
Tremble made the first, missed the second. And if you watched the Utah State-New Mexico game, you saw Calhoun a little heated. There's even a little dust-up with official Tommy Nunez in that game that Calhoun had a few words to share about afterwards. Tremble got 2 out of 3. Bulldogs down 15 with 8:40 to go. Coach, how close would the Dogs need to go to make Calhoun sweat a little bit?
He's sweating now, brother. You see him up off the bench? He's already there.
But the ball movement finds Allen open in the corner. His three way too strong. It's bouncing around. Weaver's got it. Tries to pass ahead to Tremble. Martinez slapped it from behind, but the Bulldogs end up with it anyway. Tremble penetrating, feeds Crawford left wing, elevating for three.
AC.
It's in. Tremble with the assist. Crawford up to 11 points after his third three ball. The Bulldogs within a dozen, and Calhoun definitely needs to borrow your sweat rag now, Coach. and Drake Allen races it across the timeline.
It's a luxury to have a guard that big and strong to deal with that, but Collins won't give up.
Yeah, he just knocked it away from him. Allen crashes into Price, now feeds Martinez. Catch and shoot at the foul line, and the high arcer in. Martinez with 23. He's 8 of 12 from the floor. 14-point Aggie lead, 7:45 to go. The Dogs trying to find more openings against this Aggie zone. Weaver looking through as Crawford cuts through the middle of that zone. Alex wants it. He takes the top of the key over to Tremble right wing. 12 to shoot. Tremble 30 feet out. Guarded by Falslev. To Crawford in the corner. Now they get it to Price. Little give and go. Crawford catches, feeds Weaver. Corner three.
Nice.
What a possession. Jalen Weaver with 17, but the ball movement exquisite for Vance Wahlberg's club.
And where he placed that ball right in the shooting pocket was nice, completely.
Had the little give and go with Crawford and Price setting up the triple for Weaver. That may be the play of the game. Dogs within 11 at the 7-minute mark, and a foul called on Price. Martinez didn't see Price coming with the help D, and he spun right into Elijah, who's really not happy with 8 team fouls this half on the Aggies, 3 on the Bulldogs. Utah State with it on offense,
nice
and Price
steal.
Anticipates the cut by Allen, gets the steal. Price the other way, crashing into Templin, and he'll go to the line for 2 more. Price can go either way, Coach, and it looked like just a little hesitation in his pace made Templin unsure of which way he was headed.
Well, that's what you want to do, get him off balance so he can't take a charge on you, or he can't take a block on you. But on the other end, his timing and anticipation in the help situation, that's what helps him when he's out there able to be in a floater situation and you know, and can get steals away from the ball out of the help position. You just like his timing and his ability to dribble down court, right?
The foul was called on Anderson, his third, 9th team foul on the Aggies. So Price, who's already attempted 11 foul shots, gets 2 more. He has 3 steals now to go with his 2 blocks. Oh, they called it a 1-and-1. They called it on the floor before the shot. So, and he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. And the Aggies still have that 13-point lead. So a missed opportunity. Now Price committed the foul and counted for Martinez, whose head fake got Elijah up in the air. That's going to be number 4 on the Fresno State freshman, who has really come into his own this last month.
And what's that coming? He's coming over from the help position.
And now he's heading to the bench as Brian Amunique comes in. The Bulldogs will play a little smaller. Martinez is as close to automatic as they come at the foul line. An 84% career free throw shooter, going back to his initial college days for the Maryland Terps. And he nails the and one. Ian Martinez up to 26 to lead Utah State. Their lead is 16 with 5:50 to go. Collins into the paint, feeds the corner for Tremble, almost threw it away, but Acano didn't see it coming.
Acano was sleeping.
Tremble leans through, and he does throw it away, trying to go cross-court from corner to corner, and Martinez the steal. Martinez going coast to coast for the one-hand throwdown. Ian Martinez got way up there, 28 for the Aggie Stars.
He flew back to Costa Rica.
Weaver's 3 got tipped, comes up with nothing but air, but the ball bounces to Collins. He's fouled, and the scoop goes. After the contact, he brought it back down to his ankles and fired it high off the window. I don't know if he heard your zipline joke or not, but he didn't need the zipline there to go soaring.
Yeah.
Collins makes the free throw to convert the 3-point play. 7 points for Zayon. 15-point Aggie edge, and here's the press again for Fresno State.
Well, nobody taking away from him.
From Meccano?
No.
Is Matt Entz the Fresno State football coach here? Is all I want to know.
He ought to be.
81-66 Aggies at the 5-minute mark. Templin high post against Crawford. Allen flashes to the cup, couldn't get it to him, and Martinez sells a foul on Amunique. The next snap still works occasionally, and Amunique with his second personal. Only the 15th foul this half on the Dogs, so the Aggies inbound with 20 to shoot. Well, Martinez, 10 of 14 from the floor, 28 points. That's 4 shy of his career high.
And before the game, he's talking to me. He's worried about his shooting.
Templin open underneath, hammers it home with 2 hands. Allen faked the perimeter pass, and then it was an easy overhand, 2-hand dart to Templin for the dunk. Crawford catches inside the zone. He goes to work against Templin
and
draws the foul. So Templin picks up his third personal, and Crawford will shoot a pair with 4:43 to go.
You look at this, like you said, pass fake, wing. And, you know, you got a big, tough guy like that setting those hard picks. When he rolls, if you do that, he will be open.
Drake Allen quietly up to 7 assists to go with his 10 points.
You know, and they're on Drake over there really talking to him because they want his turnovers to drop, right? A lot of bad passes tonight. But he's redeemed himself. When they needed him, he came through.
Crawford drills his first foul shot of the night. He's up to a dozen. Price has 13. He's on the bench with 4 fouls. Weaver leading the way for the Dogs with 17. We're brought to you by 99 Craft Pizza and that brand new take on Detroit-style deep dish. Don't miss out on the hottest pizza sensation in town. Visit them at the southeast corner of Palmanese or online, 99craftpizza.com. They were out at Crow and Wolf last night for the Bulldog Basketball Hour, and Brian Amunique got to enjoy some of it.
Yeah, you got to tell John Cleveland you got to send some of that pizza to me over here. You got great stuff.
Well, hopefully he's listening right now. That'll be here during our postgame show.
Yeah.
Some of that fresh ricotta squeezed right on top. Alex Crawford made them both. He's got 13. Bulldogs down by 15. 4.5 minutes to go against a team that trails only New Mexico in the conference standings. The Aggies trying to go 21-3. Amunique got his hand on a pass, knocks it into the backcourt. It goes out of bounds to the Aggies because Allen made sure Amunique could not chase that ball down, using his backside to fend him off. Aggies will have 13 seconds to shoot. They inbound in the backcourt.
Great job by him. Just stay active. Just take it. Got to take chances at this point. Whoa.
Amunique trips and Tremble gets called for the foul. Rob Kuhneman blowing the whistle there. Jasir picks up his first personal, 6th team foul. 4:22 to go. 83-68 Utah State. We're brought to you tonight by Sierra Pacific Orthopedics, proud to be the official team physicians of Fresno State Athletics. Martinez flashes to the top of the key, hands off to Falslev. Crossover by Falslev, attacking the basket, drew a foul, and his floater wouldn't go. But Zayon Collins called for the reach as Mike Reed blows the whistle. That's his second personal, 7th team. It's a 2-shot foul for Falslev. Bulldogs' next home game is the day after Valentine's. February 15th, they'll host UNLV at 4 o'clock. It's a big weekend. The Diamond Dogs open the college baseball season at home against Brigham Young. So I'm sure all of Utah State Aggie Nation that's watching us on the Mountain West Network tonight will be cheering for Fresno State that weekend against the Cougs, right?
You would think so.
Falslev missed the first. Second one rims out. Weaver's got the rebound. And it got loud in the Save Mart Center all of a sudden.
Well, they're giving away some free food if you miss 2.
I think that's it. They just got a free chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
Hey, I could use one of those.
Collins open up top for 3, didn't want it. Now he penetrates, floats it up in the paint, and gets the roll. Collins with 9, Bulldogs within 13, but running out of time, 3:50 to go. Nearly a steal out of the press for Weaver, but Martinez ends up with it and hands off to his fellow veteran, Drake Allen. Aggies will work a little clock here for Coach Calhoun. Gadaretse's back in, the big man. They find a Cano right wing. Back up top, Martinez. 3 on the way. Will go.
Oh, no.
Plus a foul on Collins. They're going to take a look at it to add to the lead. They wanted in Martinez's hands. He's their best foul shooter. He scored 28 tonight. And he has his pocket picked by Collins. Zayon the other way to the rim. Layup good. Collins, the 4th dog in double digits with 11, but Falslev the other way gets to the rim. Aggies with that transition game.
Well, yeah, they got to make up for it, and And Martinez tells Coach, calm down. I got you. I made a mistake. Let's move on.
Falslev up to 15 for the Aggies, and he commits the foul on Collins with the reach in. That'll be his second personal. 2-shot foul for Zayon Collins. Chance of attempted 24 free throws tonight. Make it 25. They're now 19 of 25 as Collins converts. The Aggies have shot less than half that total. They're 6 of 10 at the line. Utah State has outscored Fresno State in the paint 56-28 as Collins' second free throw rims out. So it's a 12-point edge, under 3 minutes to go. Martinez throws it right here. I would have caught it, but the camera got in the way.
I was going to catch it myself and try to do a little something with it. Very little.
Nothing like a seated half-court shot, right?
That's right.
So the Bulldogs have the ball back. Chance to get within single digits here with a three. Crawford catches on the right alley, back out to Collins, and now Weaver. Weaver got a little rest. He's got 17 points. He goes to work on Falslev. 7 to shoot 6. Back into the hands of Collins. Thought about a three. Now driving against Martinez. The running right-hand hook would not fall. A creative shot. And now a foul in the backcourt denies what would have been a dunk for Gadarezzi. The Dogs fouled Falslev right before he rifled it ahead. And the Fresno State wants a timeout.
And Mike Reed is... I say, what the world are you thinking about, young man?
There's a little bit of John going on between the Dogs and Aggies, and Mike, the most experienced official on this crew, got right in the middle of it.
Well, you look at what the Dogs do well, and what Coach Wahlberg is doing is he's saving these hard traps for these last about 3 minutes because he doesn't think he can sustain it effectively for a longer period of time than that. So they're getting those, even makes or misses, we're trapping. We're taking chances. We're doing what we want to do at that point. And they're catching they're putting a number on the Ags.
This is the last 1-and-1. That was the 9th team foul on Fresno State. Falslev only a 56% free throw shooter at the line. We'll see if that decibel level cranks up again. He got it. 86-73 Aggies with 2.5 minutes left. Falslev up to 16 to go with his 5 boards, 6 assists. Aggies as a team have 22 assists tonight on 37 buckets.
Well, you look at 10 minutes ago, it was 3 minutes left in the game, and now it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Second free throw in and out, rebounded by Weaver, who's got 5 boards and 3 assists to go with his team-high 17 points. Now he attacks against Gadarezzi, jump stop, shoots it over him and makes him. How about Weaver with the extra parabolic arc on that little shoulder hook, and now he's John with Gadarezzi, who just has something to say to everybody tonight. Fresno State taking time with 2:16 to go, down by just 11.
Well, this has been a real physical game. I mean, I don't know if you just heard that pick that was just said. I could hear the microphone and all this other stuff in my ears. These guys are getting hit hard. And that after a while, guys get tired that they're going to start jawing. And the momentum is actually going the Dogs' way, so they can still get out of here and steal this game.
That timeout brought to you by Table Mountain Casino Resort. Have a lucky day followed by an epic night, only at Table Mountain Casino Resort. Dogs down to just 1 timeout. They made 4 of their last 5 shots. The Aggies are shooting 68% in the second half, but they haven't made a 3 since halftime. They're 17 of 20 inside the arc since halftime. That's unreal. That tells you how easy the looks they've gotten are.
Yeah, I mean, why would you shoot a 3? You're shooting that percentage.
Full court pressure applied by Fresno State. Here comes the trap on Albury. Gets rid of it to Allen. Allen's got 4 seconds to get across the timeline. Picks up the dribble, lobs it for Albury, who's fouled by Collins. He thought he had ball, but Mike Reed was right there staring at it. That's going to be the 4th on Zayon. And now the Aggies in the double bonus will get to shoot 2.
But
2:06 to go.
You can see they throw those lollipop passes like that and give Fresno State a chance. And so that's why Wahlberg's doing it, right? They're getting these guys to throw these high passes, off-balance passes, and the Dogs are right there for the steal. They just couldn't get that one.
So it's Albury at the line. 6'2", 190-pound senior from the Bahamas.
Man, they got
a pretty quiet night.
They got an all-tropical team over there, don't they?
It's a little cooler than the tropics in Logan, Utah, especially this time of year. And
yes.
They've cooled off with the line a little bit tonight as well. A really good foul shooting team has made just 54% from the stripe and only 2 of 7 since halftime for the Aggies. And that one tried to spin off but went down. 12-point Aggie lead, 2 minutes to go. 87-75 Utah State. And some pressure by Calhoun to slow the Bulldogs up and chew up a little more of that time. Now Collins going to work in the half court. Finds Trimble right wing, little jab step. Now he penetrates against Falslev, and his shot swatted by Gadaretse, but Amunique catches in the corner.
Technical.
And we've got a technical on Gadaretse. He must have said something after the block.
He's been talking all night, and Mike Reed says, I'm sick of this nonsense.
He had just lectured Gadaretse on the other end about his active vocal skills. And now the young man has picked up his second personal, a technical that will give Weaver 2 free throws and then give Fresno State the ball.
Plenty of time.
Weaver puts in the first. He's got a 20-point game.
And he deserves it. He's really worked hard.
Doesn't get the roll on the second. His first miss at the line. He's 5 of 6. But the Bulldogs have the ball down by 11 with 1:49 to go.
Yeah, now you know you got a good out-of-bounds play, and you got Crawford with a guy that can't jump with him. Look for a lob here on this baseline. No help underneath the bucket.
Collins gets it into Crawford. Out in the left baseline corner. 1:45 to go. Little shimmy. Crawford keeps it on the perimeter. Back to Collins. Crossing over on Albury. Finds Weaver right wing. Jalen was going to shoot the three. The contest was there. Trimble gets off the three, but Allen with the block. And the Bulldogs will only have 6 seconds to shoot as they inbound from the corner with 1:35 on the game clock.
Well, you get in an odd position. You know, maybe a skip over there to Weaver or something for Amunique.
With Gadaretse out of the game, is this where you try to lob it into Crawford?
Well, you missed that opportunity.
So Amunique attacking, puts it up in the paint, and a charge called. Drake Allen, just outside the protected area, draws the charge on Amunique. Vance Wahlberg thought it should have been a block. Mike Reed says nope, and the Aggies have it back with an 11-point edge.
Made the right move, you know.
Get a look at it on the Mountain West Network side of the simulcast. Allen's feet were set outside the protected area. He may have anticipated the collision a little bit and jumped backwards.
He may do a little bit of that. But here goes that press again.
And the Aggies break the press. They've got it in the front court, leading by 11 with 1:20 to go. Does Vance Wahlberg want a foul or not? Amunique defending Albury. They decide not to foul just yet. 10 seconds to shoot. Albury still with the ball. Now driving past Amunique all the way to the cup, but he missed the layup. Loose ball. Falslev had a shot at it, didn't get it, and Crawford called for the foul. Bulldogs were going to have the loose ball, but Randy Richardson blew the whistle and called the foul on Crawford. It's going to give the Aggies 2 more free throws. Just over a minute to go, 87-76, Utah State.
You got what you wanted in a speed drive, right? Out of control, just enough to miss it, right? Because he's got a wide open look, but he can't get it because he's moving too fast. He just got to get that rebound.
And the Aggies' struggles at the foul line continue. Falslev with the miss. They're just 3 of 9 at the stripe since halftime. We're brought to you tonight by Tioga Sequoia Brewing. Proud to present Bulldog fans with their new Red Wave Light Lager. It's crafted locally to be the ideal everyday beer. He missed them both. That lager captures the passion, energy, and Bulldog spirit of the Central Valley and our hometown team that brings us together. That hometown team trying to get within single digits in the final minute. Crawford jump stop. Lefty layup good. 15 for Crawford. A 9-point game with 53 ticks left. And here's that full court pressure. Falslev gets it into Allen. Allen defended by Amunique. Here comes the trap. It comes cross-court Albury. Ahead to Falslev. They've broken the press. And the alley-oop for Templin. He missed it. And Crawford knocks it out of there. Bulldogs have it. Down by 9. 40 seconds left. Weaver on the attack. Top of the key three. Can't get the roll. Came up a little short. And Templin the Aggie rebound. But Collins knocks it away. Templin hits the ground with it. And we've got a tie-up. Who's the possession arrow belong to? It's Utah State that'll have the ball with 30 seconds left.
Does everything you don't want people to do.
I said free throws, but of course it had been a held ball, and the possession arrow giving the possession to the Aggies, not free throws. 5 seconds separating game clock and shot clock, and now they foul Drake Allen with 18.7 to go. Allen has not attempted a free throw yet tonight. 18.7 left, 87-78 Aggies. It's a 2-shot foul for a 65% free throw shooter and the senior, the grad student, Drake Allen. No good on the first. Still a 9-point game with 18.7 left.
There's still time.
Calhoun saying, what happened to our foul shooting tonight in Fresno? 8 of 17 for the game, 47%. No good on the second, but an offensive board for Martinez, and that'll wrap it up for Utah State. Vance Wahlberg says, don't foul anymore. Tremble does anyway, and he fouls Martinez, the best foul shooter on the floor, who's a perfect 5 for 5 at the line. That makes it look even worse, Coach. Martinez tonight, 5 for 5 at the line. The rest of the Aggie team, 3 for 13.
3 for 13.
You don't see that very often.
Yeah, we've seen it in the Valley. But Calhoun can't wait to get on his horse and get out of this place.
Martinez gets the roll. Ian's got 8 rebounds tonight to go with 29 points. That double overtime thriller Tuesday night, San Jose State had 2 players reach 30, and Martinez can hit the 30-point mark if he converts this foul shot. There it is. A 30-point game for Ian Martinez, an 89-78 lead, 10 seconds left. Here comes Tremble. Bulldogs can put up one more shot, and Jalen Weaver loses the handle on the dribble. He gives it up to Tremble, who will take an NBA range 3 and make it. So the Bulldogs, who lost by 6 to the Aggies in Logan, 89-83, fall at home by an 8-point margin, 89-81. Utah State improves to 21-3. And 11-2 in Mountain West play, trailing only New Mexico.